Ridley Walker, Chapter 3. This is still the same day I'm writing down here. The day my dad got killed. We put the dog's head on the pole on top of the gatehouse. Lorna else went up there with it. Little kids dancing down below, playing black pack and singing. Full of the moon, full of the moon, full of the moon, nor don't look back. Follery, folleroo, on your track. Oh, hoo, hoo, yoop, yaroo, fooly, fooly, you, follering you. If they catch you in the darger, arger, warga. Lorna, she looked over the side, she said to the kids, there ain't no full moon this night, there ain't no black plaque running, it's 2 days past the full. Little Nimble Potter, he said, third of the full, and still, shoo, pull. My dad, he seen Riddley Walker kill that dog, and my dad, he said, that dog will fetch. Lorna said, fetch what? Nimble said, fetch someone over to the dog people. He laid his head over on one side to show his neck, and he showed it his teeth like he were a dog and going to bite. Lorna said, Nimble, you ever seen any dog people? Nimble said, oh yes, I've seen them times enough. Lorna said, what do they look like then? Nimble said, they throw a white shatter, don't they? Everybody knows that. He turned himself round then and gone back to playing with the others, singing. Gentlemen will do it front to back, when they do it with the ladies of the full moon pack. All the ladies do it back to front, when they drop their knickers and they show their moony in the holler, moony on the hill. If you won't do it, then your sister will. I gone up on the gatehouse and looking at the head. The day gone colder. The muddling from the rains froze hard, and the calling of the crows coal on the air. Looking at that old leader's wore-down teeth, Lorna said to me, you heard the story of why the dog won't show its eyes? I said, no, I never. She said, that's what happens with people on the way down from what they've been. The stories go. She told me the story then. This is it, wrote down the same. Why the dog won't show its eyes. Time back, way, way back, before people got clever, they had the first knowing. They lost it when they got the cleverness, and now the cleverness is gone as well. Everything has a shape, and so does the night, only you can't see the shape of night, nor you can't think it. If you put yourself right, you can know it. Not with knowing in your head, but with the first knowing. Where the number creeper grows on the dead stones, and the grown is sour for 3 days digging the night, she knows the shape of itself, though we don't. Sometimes the night is in the shape of an ear. It ain't an ear we know the shape of. Listening back for all the sounds what are gone from us. The humming of the dead towns and the voices before the town's been there. Before the iron been and fire been only little. Listening for what's coming as well. Time back, way, way back, one time it were full of the moon, and a man and woman squatting by their little fire. Squatting by their little fire, and afeard of the night. The dog were in the night, and looking towards the fire. It weren't howling, it were just looking at the fire. The man and the woman seen the fire shining in the dog's eyes. The man throw it meat to the dog, and the dog come into them by the fire. Brung its eyes in out of the night, then they all looked at the night together. The man and the woman seen the night in the dog's eyes, and that's when they got the first knowing of it. They know it the night the same as the dog know it. You know what they got first knowing of it. She has different ways she shows herself. She's that same one shows her moon self, or she just shows her old night and no moon. She's the same one everything and all of us come out of. She's what she is. She's a woman when she's night, and she's a woman when she's death. The night births the day. Every day has the shape of the night when it come out of it. The man as knows that shape can go into the night in the night, and the night in the daytime. The woman as knows that shape can be the night and take the day in her and birth the new day. Well, they got that first knowing. They got it looking in the dog's eyes in the full of the moon. When the man and woman got that first knowing from the dog, they made a contract with the dog in the full of the moon. They rode it on together with the dog and foraging together. Didn't have no more fear in the night. They put their self right, day and night, that were the good time. Then they begun to think on it a little. They said, if the first knowing is this good, what might the second knowing and the third be, and so on. They caught a goat and looked it in its eye. You know what eye the goat has, it's the clever eye. Then the man and woman looking in that clever eye, and they thought, why should we be foraging the whole time? They caught other goats, they made a fence and pent them up. They gathered wheat and barley, they had bread and beer, then they weren't moving on the land no more. They started in to form it. Stop it in one place, then with sheds and stock and growings. They weren't outside in the night no more, they were inside looking out. The night just looked dark to them, they didn't see nothing else to it no more. They lost out of memberment the shapes of the night, and were it for their property, they might get snuck and raided. They made the dog keep looking out for their property. Every morning they were counting everything to see if anything been took off in the night. How many goats, how many cows, how many measures wheat and barley? Couldn't stop their counting, which were cleverness, and making more the same. They said, them as counts more in them, and don't count. Counting they were all the time. They had iron then and big fire, they had towns of property. They had machines at numbers up. They fed them numbers and they fractioned out the power of things. They had the numbers of the rainbow and the power of the air all work it out with counting, which is how they got boats in the air and pictures on the wind. Counting cleverness is what it were. When they had all them things and marvelsome, they couldn't sleep, really, they didn't have no rest. They were stressing theirself and straining all the time with counting. They said, what good is night? It's only dark time. It ain't no good for nothing. Only them as want to sly and sneak and take our property away. They lost out of memberment who night were. They just wanted daytime all the time, and they were just going to do it with the master changes. They had the numbers of the sun and moon all fractioned out and fed to the machines. They said, we'll put out the numbers in to one big one, and that will be the number of the master changes. They built the power ring. That's where you see the ring ditch now. They put in the one big one and whooshed it round. There come a flash of light, then bigger nor the whole world, and it's turned the night to day. Then everything gone black. Nothing, only night for years on end. Plagues killed people off, and naminos, nor there weren't nothing growing in the ground. Man and woman starveling in the blackness, looking for the dog to eat it, and the dog out looking to eat them the same. Finally there come day again, then night, and day regular, but never like it been before. Day birthed crooked out of crooked night, and sickness in them both. Now man and woman go afeard by night, afeard by day. The dog all lorn and wishful, it keeps howling for the nights what are gone forever. It won't show its eyes no more, it won't show the man and woman no first knowing. Come full of the moon, the sadness gets too much, the dog goes mad. It follers on the man's and woman's track, and arga warga if it catches them. The fire's coal, my story's told. I said to Lorna, I thought it been used to make the one big one. Lorna said, I never said he didn't. I said, well, you just told in the story it been that man and woman done it, plus they built the power ring and all. She said, you hear different things in all them way back stories, but it don't make no difference. Mostly they ain't straight stories anyhow. What they are is different ways of telling what happened. I said, been there a straight story passed down amongst the tell-woman? She said, there been no tell-woman time way back. No, nor there ain't never been no straight story I ever heard. Been no writing for hundreds and hundreds of years till it begun again, nor you won't never get a straight story passed down by mouth over that long. Only writing I know of is the use of story, which that ain't nothing straight, but at least it stayed the same. All them other stories told by mouth, they've been put to and took from and changed it so much through the years, they're all bits and blips and all mixed up. I said, that about the first knowing in the story. How they got it looking in the dog's eyes. Be that blip or just a way of saying or what? She said, why you asking? I said, well, that old dog I killed, I look it in its eyes, didn't I? Nor I never got no first knowing out of it, did I? She said, maybe you got it, only you don't know it yet. I said, have you got it? She said, everybody's got it. It's in every one of us, only we can't get to it till it comes to us one way or the other, or another. I said, it's come to you, ain't it? She said, yes, it's come to me, nor there ain't no use asking what it is, because it's what there ain't no words for. Well, anyways, that's the story of why the dog won't show its eyes. Back then, in this time I've been writing of, I never know it's anyone been dog killed, only a kid. It were Follery Digman, he got dog et years back. It were full of the moon, and he staggled behind a trade crowd coming back. Sometimes, other times of mooning, it looked to me like the dog's been near ready to come friendy, only it never happened. No, I never heard of no one tame a pup. Heard of someone got one once. I don't know how they done it. They never tame it though. Soon's it got big enough, it dug under the fence and gone. There's dogs in the Eustace story. Follery and Folleroo. They are more blip dogs nor real ones though.